Dame gospodu, uvaženi gosti, poštovani gledalci, molim vas za malo pažnje. Slijedi intoniranje himne. Himna Engleske. Himna Bosnia Herzegovina.
England squandered the opportunity to go top of their Women's World Cup qualifying group after a goalless draw with Wales. Today, they have a second chance with their game in hand as they take on a Bosnia and Herzegovina side ranked 55 places below them. Good afternoon to you, wherever you're tuning in from. I'm Vicky Sparks, and alongside the former England winger Sue Smith, we'll bring you full coverage of England's World Cup qualifier away to Bosnia and Herzegovina at the Bosnia FA's Football Training Centre in Zenica. Kick-off just a few moments away on this warm afternoon, so let's take you to the teams before we bring in Sue Smith. Bosnia and Herzegovina were thumped 6-1 by Russia here on Thursday. They make one change from that game, Radilic replacing Medic, which means the experienced Amira Spahic switches across to right wing-back. 5 changes for England from Friday's draw with Wales. Fran Kirby and Demi Stokes have returned home due to injury and illness respectively. Alex Greenwood and Izzy Christensen replaced them, also coming in Ellen White, Jade Moore and Mel Lawley for Jodie Taylor, Kira Walsh and Nikita Paris. Carly Telford keeps her place in goal with Karen Bardsley on the bench. So good afternoon, Sue.
Good afternoon.
And England will be looking to atone really for that failure to beat Wales.
Definitely. You know, it was a difficult, frustrating game against Wales. I think at times England lacked quality in that first half. They performed so much better in the second half, but just couldn't break down a very resilient, well-organised Welsh block at times. And it's going to be another difficult game for them here today, because this is exactly how Bosnia and Herzegovina are going to line up, very defensive, probably even more so than Wales. So it's a case of Phil Neville and England are going to have to try and break them down.
Yes, as you say, the home side will be very defensive. They may well have been watching that game, and it will have given them some ideas to work with in terms of how to stop England.
Without a doubt, they'll have watched that game and they'll have thought, well, Wales frustrated England, so this is what we're going to have to do. Bosnia and Herzegovina are also a very physical side, so they'll be looking to get very close, very tight to England in the middle of the park, stop them from playing. I think England have got the quality to break them down. I just think they need to be patient. I think they need to try and get an early goal. I think that will settle them down, but they'll be ready for this. Phil Neville will have worked on a lot of different strategies to break down a team that's going to sit back and defend.
And important for Phil Neville after such a good She Believes Cup to regain that momentum. That will probably frustrate him most, as well as the drop points obviously in a qualifying campaign. England should still be able to qualify for the World Cup. They would certainly expect to. A win will take them top of the group this afternoon, 2 points clear of Wales. They will then have played the same number of games as well. A draw would take them top on goal difference, but if the Wales result was a disappointment, a draw here would be devastating.
Yeah, he has to get the result today, and he'll have said that to the players. We need 3 points. You want to take the lead from Wales, so when you have to go and play Wales away from home, they'll have to come out and they'll have to try and take the game to you, which would then play into England's hands.
Early miscontrol, recovered by Greenwood. In the side today for Demi Stokes, who has departed the England squad, gone back home to her parent club Manchester City due to illness. Fran Kirby returning to Chelsea due to a long-standing injury problem that she's been playing through essentially. Here is Bronze. Looking for Duggan. Early effort, not troubling Hasanbegovic, but England starting sharply.
You can see straight away exactly how Bosnia and Herzegovina are lining up. It's very much a 5 at the back. You've got the 4 across the middle and then just the 1, I think it's Nikolic, but she's even dropping into her own half. So it's going to be really tight and compact, but like you say, a positive start. If you can switch the ball early like Lucy Bronze did there, that's maybe how you can get at them out wide.
Hasanbegovic not keen on taking the goal kicks. England throw. Always slightly bizarre to see a goalkeeper doing that so early on.
Yeah, and the fact that she's the reserve goalkeeper, you know, the Hadic, who was in there in the last game that I watched England, was absolutely superb. So they will miss her and they'll miss her kicking.
Right start from England. Bosnia and Herzegovina prevent the corner. Here is Kulic. Handball penalised against Jade Moore. In for Kira Walsh today, who's not involved.
It's a definite handball there from Jade Moore, but that's what she'll do. She'll get really tight and close to the Bosnian players, and she'll be trying to win that ball back and give it to, whether it's Izzy Christiansen or Jordan Nobbs a little bit further forward.
Nobbs. Christiansen. Again, the early ball forward. Well intercepted. And already the pattern of play so evident. We knew this would happen. Phil Neville knew it would happen. He said Bosnia and Herzegovina might set up with a 5-5-0 formation. Zelen White can't get on the end of that. Hasanbegovic with another early touch.
And I think that's the reason he's probably changed the team round. Jodie Taylor likes to play on the shoulders of defenders and use that space in behind. There isn't any space in behind, so Ellen White can come to feet and link it up play.
Free kick won by Hadjic. Nobbs protests. Ida Hadjic played in every qualifier for Bosnia and Herzegovina. Several of this side are the same team that faced England in the Euro 2017 qualifiers, as well as featuring against them in this campaign. England deal with that attack. Moore. Greenwood. Intercepted before she could find Izzy Christiansen. But already you can see those overlapping runs that Duggan and Greenwood, Christiansen as well coming over to that left-hand side, trying to work the flanks.
That's what they're going to have to do. Lots of movement, lots of interchanging in positions, just to try and move the defenders around. But Izzy Christiansen's clever, real intelligent player, will do that.
Noticeable that Bosnia and Herzegovina have put Emira Spahic, their record appearance maker, out in a wide position. Ball back in, and what a chance for Izzy Christiansen arriving. Fantastic opening for England.
Really good opening. The only thing that I would say they could have scored, should have scored. Great play from Lucy Bronze and Mel Lawley, because Mel Lawley comes in field, so her movement creates the overlap for Lucy Bronze. Good delivery to Izzy Christiansen, and great run into the box, well timed. Have to score them.
Well, she's Manchester City's joint top scorer with 13 goals this season. Won't keep that one in. But again, it's that question for England that's just been creeping up. 22 efforts on goal against Wales, taking the chances.
And you have to be clinical. And that's something that I think England have got better at, but yet against Wales, maybe should have been more clinical. And again there, that was a great opportunity.
Ball turn back to Telford, who keeps her place today. Karen Bardsley on the bench. Had been England's regular #1 since the 2011 World Cup, but Phil Neville changing things. Here is more. England trying to work the opportunity into the penalty area. Again, the quality of the delivery won't trouble Hasanbegovic, but your thoughts on the competition at the other end?
I just think when England played against Wales in the first half particularly, I felt that it was that final ball that was lacking. So they were getting into good positions, but maybe just the through ball or the quality of the cross. Second half, much better. And again today, there's been some, they've only just started, but there's been some opportunities where they could have maybe delivered a bit better into the box. That'll be something that Phil Neville will be working on.
Bronze clears away from Crusoe. England coming forward again. Foul challenge. Looks like a painful one on Mel Lawley. Whether her foot just twisted as she went down.
Yeah, you couldn't really see what had happened. I don't know if there was certainly contact. You just hope that she hasn't twisted anything. It's just a knock. She's been playing so well. When she come on in the Wales game, I thought she changed it, real impact. She's prepared to create those 1v1 situations for herself, wants to beat a player, get a good delivery into the box. I know Phil Neville's really impressed with her progress, and he started her today because of that.
Yes, a real battle developing between Lawley and her Manchester City teammate Nikita Paris for that place in the side. We saw that at the She Believes Cup as well.
Definitely, and that's what you want. You want those competition for places, two real quality players. And you know that if you're not performing, somebody else is going to come straight in and take your place. And they offer different. So you use Nikita Paris in different games as you would Mel Lawley. And that's a real plus for Phil Neville, that strength in depth that England now have.
Well, she is at least sitting up, Mel Lawley. She did look to be in some pain. Will be desperate to continue. And we'll see whether she will be able to. The referee, Andromaki Sofliki from Greece, just making sure that Lawley is all right. We'll have to leave the field of play. Meanwhile, England have a set-piece opportunity. Plenty of players that can hit it. Looks as though she will be able to continue. That will be a relief for England. Here's Horton, who tries something clever. Might work out. Bosnia switching off in the end, straight into the arms of Hasanbegovic. Well, I thought initially that was a bit of a waste from Steph Horton, but it almost did the trick, Sue Smith.
I thought exactly the same. You know, I thought, I'm not really sure, because I know in the last game that they're trying new things from set pieces. That's, again, something that Phil Neville wants them to do, whether it's a short corner, whether it's a clever free kick, and that nearly come off.
Here is Bronze. Really back on the field of play. And looking for Tony Duggan. Spahic gets it away. McManus. Moore allows it to roll to Lucy Bronze. Loose touch from Moore, and Nikolic will bring it away from Bosnia Herzegovina. Will break to Hadžić, and now Šarkotić. In the end, Moore dispossesses Nikolic, but Bosnia and Herzegovina so clear that Nikolic will be isolated when she gets the ball in any sort of position, but did at least try and work something as England come down the other end too high again for Ellen White. Duggan involved, Christensen. Greenwood offering an option. In the end, Christensen finds Duggan, referee plays advantage. Christensen was taken out there. Bronze. Now Lawley up against Kulic, who stands up well. And the referee from Greece is perhaps going to have a word as Phil Neville watches on.
I'm glad she's having a word because this was late. That's a naughty tackle. It's a yellow card. Don't think they've actually given her the yellow card for that, but that's what England have to be aware of, that's what they're going to do. They're going to try and frustrate them, whether it is being physical, whether it is a late challenge. And they just have to try and remain focused on what they have to do. I'm sure they will.
Fortunate that Christensen didn't receive too much contact as Greenwood comes forward, but the offside flag is up. Alex Greenwood with another to prove, called into the squad after Hannah Blundell withdrew through injury. In the side today, after Stokes pulled out, as we've mentioned, really having to work to get back into the side.
She is, and she's got the quality to be in that side, and I'm sure, given this opportunity, I'm sure when she gets on the ball, you'll see a great left foot delivery, and that's what England will need. You know, if Tony Duggan is on that side, or Mel Lawley, and they cut in, that's the opportunity for both fullbacks to get on the ball.
Nobbs again with a long ball forward, which Duggan had a pretty fruitless chase for, not her fault. Those deliveries over the top, Sue, it's clear what England are trying to do. Samira Huram, the Bosnia and Herzegovina coach, assesses the situation. She'll be relatively pleased with how her side are holding up so far.
Yeah, so far they've been organised, which I'm sure that's exactly what she'll want them to have been, and they've been physical and stopping England from creating too many chances.
Christensen. Duggan finds her former Manchester City teammate again. Christensen's ball over the top this time towards Ellen White. Again, the flag is raised. Are you slightly surprised, Sue, that seems to be the primary tactic from England at the moment?
I can see why they're trying to do it, especially the long diagonal ball, because if the team's gone all the way across to one side, which they are tending to do, they're tending to overcommit, that long diagonal ball will mean that they'll get in at the far side. However, I think there's times where maybe they can drive with the ball and bring the defence out.
Well, apologies for those technical difficulties. We are back with you now. Bosnia and Herzegovina still 0-0 with England in this Women's World Cup qualifier, live on BBC Sport. But as we just saw there, Sue Smith, a big penalty shout for Jordan Nobbs for England. Handball not given by the referee.
Yeah, there's a penalty shout, and also Hasanbegovic doesn't look very comfortable when she comes to claim crosses, whether it's from a set piece or whether it's just from a delivery. So I would be saying get the ball out wide as much as you can and get the ball in the box, get people on the end of it.
Here is Greenwood. Just about cleared away, falls to Christensen, lays it back to Duggan. Vital block, Duggan slips. Now Nobbs. Good presence of mind by Christensen. Lawley. Cleared away by Nikolic.
But that's your centre forward, Nikolic, and she's so deep. Just playing the ball. They've got absolutely no intention to come out and try and get a goal against England. They just want to keep it at 0-0.
Well, a draw would be a remarkable result for Bosnia and Herzegovina. Fourth in the group at the moment. Just the one win against Kazakhstan in their opening qualifier. Duggan swings it in just too high for Lawley at the far post.
I think that's what England need to keep doing. Deliveries into the box, and you know, it's a good delivery from Toni Duggan. She's on the left side, so she's going to cut in onto a favoured right foot. And again, Mel Lawley does well to make that run in field. I just think if she does that, can someone maybe come round the back and attack the back post?
Foul drawn by Elisa Spahic. Jade Moore protests her innocence. Captain of SFK Sarajevo, Elisa Spahic. They've won 14 consecutive titles in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
It's not bad, is it?
It's not, is it? Contrast that with the women's game, which is increasingly competitive. Manchester City, Chelsea, Birmingham on a great charge at the moment. You would expect it to be between Chelsea and Manchester City, although if Arsenal win their 2 games in hand, they'd only be 2 points off the top. Nice to see that competitiveness, though, between the sides.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want in the Women's Super League. You want that competitive edge. You don't know who's going to win. And it improves you as a player and as a team. When you go into Champions League or when you go to international football, you're used to competitive football.
Rare opportunity for the home side to get the ball into England's penalty area. Dealt with. Spahic. Flicked on by Nikolic. McManus in the way. Big opportunity for her as well. Millie Bright out injured, of course, Anita Asante as well. Impressed at the She Believes Cup. England free kick. Toni Duggan wasn't quite sure which way that was going to go there for a second, judging by the expression on her face.
Yeah, I think she's just saying to the referee, every time we get the ball, they're coming in late on us. Again, it's just a late challenge right on the back of the Achilles. I think she's just telling the referee in no uncertain terms that that's what's happening.
So England tried something clever from a free kick slightly further out on the right-hand side. Duggan and Greenwood standing over this one. Looks as though they will, one of them, swing it into the penalty area. It is Toni Duggan. Plays it along the ground. Moore. Again, England having to be patient. Greenwood. Duggan to Christensen. Looking for White. Trying to keep it alive. Well dispossessed in the end by Kulish. Clears it off Lawley. That's very good defending from Lydia Kulish. But that's the first time Ellen White's really latched onto that ball in the penalty area. Almost took her a bit by surprise.
You can see what she was trying to do. She was trying to chest the ball down and then maybe overhead kick, scissor kick, whatever you want to call it. It just wouldn't fall for her. It's just so congested in there. You've got to move the ball so quickly.
Bosnia and Herzegovina are quick when they sense that England just have a loose touch, as Nobs did there. Very quickly in to pressure them, that time from Hadžić, who was booked for that earlier effort. Oh, which is brilliantly saved there. Hasanbegovic proving her worth to the home side.
Worth a try there from Jade Moore. What a save that was. I was actually saying about the goalkeeper, I think test her as much as possible, but she's clearly a good shot stopper.
England corner, the closest they've come to breaking the deadlock. Greenwood will swing it in. Headed away from White by Nikolic. Nice touch from Duggan, and Bosnia and Herzegovina can come forward with Kulic. Goes down under the challenge of Moore. The referee says nothing doing, and England have a throw. But the first time they've really made Hasanbegovic work, and she was equal to it.
She was. And again, that's another way you're trying to break a team down. They're literally sat back pretty much in their own area. Shots from distance, they've got quality players that can do that.
Lawley up against Kulic. Oh, and another good save, reactionary by Hasanbegovic. England getting closer, nervy clearance from Šarkotić. Anywhere will do. It wasn't that elegant from Hasanbegovic, but the reaction time was good.
Great reaction. Mel Lawley 1v1, beats her player. Ellen White does ever so well, gets across the defender. Good header of the ball, but what a reaction save this is. Seems very similar to when they played Wales and their goalkeeper O'Sullivan had a fantastic game, and it looks like it's going to be a special shot to beat Hasanbegovic.
Nikolic is down. That's what the Bosnia and Herzegovina players were gesturing to the referee about. And that would be a blow for the home side if she was unable to continue. Started every qualifier for them. Scored in their win over Kazakhstan in October.
She's probably their best player. Player that holds the ball up well. She's very athletic, but is so isolated, like you mentioned, when she's up there.
Alex Greenwood just checking that England will be able to play on. Oops, can't latch onto that. But again, that tactic of getting the ball early in the box. Manus in a very advanced position. Christensen looking for White. Lucy Bronze. Again, Bosnia and Herzegovina stand up well. They're not concerned about where the clearance goes, just that it is cleared. England working very hard, but this is following the pattern of the Wales game, as Sue Smith says. Nikolic, who is all right with a foot in. They did beat them 4-0 back in England in this qualifying campaign, but in the Euro qualifying campaign, there's only 2 1-0 wins. That ball goes behind for a goal kick. Greenwood unable to reach it. 2 1-0 wins, and it was a very late Karen Carney goal here that secured the away victory in the Euro 2017 qualifiers.
Yeah, and I just think it's such a difficult game to play in when you know a team are going to sit back and defend and not even want to come out and attack. You can see when a player goes forward, they're very isolated. Nobody's committing from the midfield. So you can't even hit a team back on it. You can't counter the counter. But like I say, England have got quality players. They've got a real confidence in their ability. And they'll just keep going. And once that breakthrough comes, you think, or you hope that then more goals will come from it. But they have to be clinical when that goal chance or opportunity arises.
Again, a slight breakdown in communication. See how advanced McManus and Horton are inside the Bosnia and Herzegovina half. But this is what England have had to deal with, Sue Smith, for so many years. This is what Phil Neville has to deal with.
Yeah, and it's going to be new to him because he went to the She Believes Cup and you're playing against the top teams in the world who are going to come out at you, and you can play the football, they can play the football. But this is just a case of a team just wanting to defend and saying, you come and break us down. And that is a completely different mindset. So he's certainly learning the hard way at the moment.
Yes, it is rather the 5-5-0 formation that he predicted from their opponents. Here is Lucy Bronze. First time touch doesn't pay off for Tony Duggan. And Bosnia and Herzegovina will be so delighted with the way this half is going. Different experience for England as well, playing at this, what is essentially the Bosnia FA training centre. They do have a stand here that the fans can watch from, but when you've just played in front of over 25,000 at St Mary's in Southampton against Wales on Friday, that has to change your psychology and your mindset as a player as well. You have to be able to cope with that.
Yeah, it shouldn't do. You know, you're playing for your country, and you should, I suppose, be as focused whether you're playing in front of 25,000 people or 10 people. However, yeah, of course, you know, it was fantastic at Southampton. The crowd were brilliant, constantly cheering England throughout the game. But they're away from home England now, and it's just, they've got a job to do, and I think they all know that. And it's just a case of doing that and getting that, breaking that deadlock.
Christensen perhaps a little bit fortunate there to win that free kick. Spahic penalised. And try and get moving quickly. Here is Lucy Bronze. Now White, who's had to drift out of the penalty area to get on the ball. Nobbs. Bronze. Looking for Duggan. And again, those balls, despite Tony Duggan's protestations, are not doing enough to trouble the Bosnia and Herzegovina defence.
I think Tony Duggan was saying that Spahic was all over her, was pretty much stopping her, making that run into the box, which prevented her from getting onto the end of it. She's probably right. It was difficult to see from where we are, but again, it's that final ball, that final delivery has to be absolutely spot on, because there's so many Bosnia and Herzegovina players in that area. It has to be pinpoint. And that's where I would like to see England really 1- and 2-touch passing on the floor. They've got the movement, they've got the quality of players to be able to do that. And if they are crowding out the middle of the park, get it out wide, which you can see they are trying to do.
McManus. Christensen. Won't reach Duggan. Spahic with a good interception. Greenwood retrieves it for England. Horton. Again, just a little bit short, and that's the sort of pass that you can't keep playing if it takes you so long to try and break down this Bosnia and Herzegovina defence. As you say, Sue Smith, those balls early on have got to be spot on. Yeah. Otherwise, you have to start again.
Of course, yeah. Got to be very dynamic with your movement, with your passing. The pace of the pass has to be perfect.
Duggan. Again, the link-up play isn't there with White, who gives the thumbs up.
You could see what they were trying to do there. I think as Duggan comes in field, Ellen White is going to make that opposite movement to try and get on the ball, but just a little bit too much on it.
See, that was an excellent kick.
Yeah.
I don't know why she's not taking the other ones. And Vera Hasanbegovic. As so many of these Bosnia and Herzegovina players are semi-professional, also studying crop production So there's two different options in terms of career paths.
And I think that's something you've always had to do in women's football. You've had to have that fall back if football doesn't work out.
Now that's, I think, quite harsh to Amira Spahic, who has been booked for time wasting. The Greek referee saying that that was her second warning. We're shaking our heads.
Yes, we are.
Never say that the BBC isn't neutral. We do not think that was a yellow card.
No.
I don't even think she was delaying that much. Just trying to find a bit of space. Anyway, Spahic goes into the book. Here is Lucy Bronze. More providing support. Looking for the run of Duggan, but again through to Hasanbegovic. Yeah, she is still studying, but that's one of the ways that this Bosnia and Herzegovina squad have developed since the European qualifiers. At that point, they only had one full-time professional player. That was Lydia Kulic. Now they have 5.
And that makes such a difference. The fitness of the players, the amount of touches on the ball improves them technically. And they are a developing nation. And it's good to see these teams from where they were to how they have progressed. And yes, we're seeing a very defensive side here, but I suppose, is that a clever thing to do? Because if they do come out and attack England, they know that they're technically not as good as England. You don't want to lose 5 and 6-0.
Nobbs just showed a little bit too much of it to Hasanbegovic, the defender, the sister of the goalkeeper. England build again with Lawley to Bronze. Nice back heel. Couldn't quite find the return ball, and England concede the free kick.
That was unlucky, that. They're developing a nice relationship on that right-hand side. Mel Lawley and Lucy Bronze. Good movement. They seem to understand when one comes in, the other one overlaps, and vice versa. One might stay wide, Lucy Bronze will underlap. Intelligent players, and that's what England need all over the park. That movement, that quickness of thought to try and break down the side.
Ball's being helped to her feet as England continue the attack, but again the ball is wasted. And again, Sue Smith, you have your arms in the air.
It just has to be, there has to be more quality, and you can see that Phil Neville's getting frustrated as well. And it is difficult, it's hard. I can't stress that enough. I've played in games like this where a team sits back and you have to try and come up with the solutions. But you have to try not to be frustrated, not to force the pass. You know, I'm sure Phil Neville has said, we want to go direct, we want to go diagonal, but not all the time make the right decisions.
Nikolic doesn't get the decision against Horton. Duggan again making the point to the Greek referee. She feels she is being a little manhandled, and Spahic down that right-hand side, the right wing-back position, will have to be a little bit careful now after picking up,
oh my goodness,
that yellow, and Alex Greenwood picks up a yellow card. Well, I think it's fair to say, Sue Smith, that we were very clear that we didn't think Spahic should have been booked, and I'm not sure Greenwood should have done either, although the refereeing is saying it's for dissent, so we don't know what.
So we don't know. No, that's the thing. I'm not sure she would have understood her Scouse accent, though, to be honest.
So you're allowed to say that. Approaching the break, England yet to find the breakthrough. Bronze will swing it in. Christensen went for the rather spectacular. Greenwood to Duggan. Christensen. Clever ball to Nobbs. Swung back in and met at the far post by Lucy Bronze, who didn't quite get the purchase on it she wanted. And Bosnia and Herzegovina will clear. Intelligent play by England.
Great play. That come from a quality Izzy Christensen ball, and a good run from Jordan Nobbs as well.
Greenwood. And a good ball in. Christensen can't latch onto it. Free kick, good position. Well won by Jade Moore, and this is dangerous.
Yeah, this is exactly what England want. Good play from Jade Moore. Good quality turn. Just invited that foul.
She's done it, doesn't she?
She invited the foul. But you've got Steph Houghton with her right foot, Alex Greenwood with her left. Not sure who'll... I think Steph Houghton might pull rank and say, this is mine. This is a real opportunity to break that deadlock, isn't it?
Well, she scored 2 goals against Bosnia and Herzegovina in the home qualifier back in November. One of them was a free kick. Steph Houghton, do you fancy your chances again? Just make sure you don't get booked. No back chat, no moving the ball. Rather bizarre incident. And the referee, who has brooked no nonsense so far, just having a word with Ellen White. I mean, it's a little foolish from White. No need to go down like that, though. So England free kick. It is Houghton, and it is over.
I've seen Steph Houghton score them from there. She's certainly got the technique to get it up and down over the wall. She's got underneath it a little bit too much. But they're the opportunities that England have to try and take, whether it is a set piece or whether it's a moment of brilliance.
Nikolic wins the free kick. It looks as though Bosnia and Herzegovina will head into the break, with the game finally poised in terms of the scoreline, even though England have utterly dominated this half. Bit of a soft one, that.
Yeah. They've dominated everything, Vicky. Possession, shots, attempts. But I'm sure Bosnia and Herzegovina will be the happier of the two teams.
By a stretch. Oh, it's possible to mix something. White just about gets it away. Bosnia and Herzegovina almost stopped playing there, Hasanbegovic. Well, that's a bit of a waste for them. And Hasanbegovic making the point that perhaps the half-time whistle shouldn't have gone at that moment.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what she's saying, that the referee blew for half-time just as they were trying to create something. I think that was probably the only time that they actually got into England's half.
So 0-0 at the break, as we see the chances from the first half.
Yeah, that was really early on. It was definitely the best chance of the game. Very well worked, wasn't it? And Izzy Christensen will have thought she should have done better.
That was the late tackle from Hadžić on Christensen. Hadžić going into the book for that.
Alex Greenwood certainly got the beating. I think on this left-hand side, we can get those 1v1 situations. I think that was the appeal, wasn't it, for handball, for a potential England penalty.
But just not quite working in terms of the link-up play. And Hasanbegovic, when she was called into action, pulling off a couple of excellent stops.
Yeah, one very good save, and then that was a very good reaction to just push the ball out of the area.
Well, we will be back with you for the second half. England need to find a breakthrough from somewhere, but at half-time, it is Bosnia and Herzegovina women 0, England women 0. Well, welcome back to BBC Sports coverage of Bosnia and Herzegovina women against England women in this World Cup 2019 qualifier. Goalless at the break. The former England winger Sue Smith alongside me. And Sue, frustration so far for England this afternoon, as it was against Wales on Friday in a very similar game.
Very similar game, and it was to be expected. I think we all thought that that's how Bosnia and Herzegovina were going to line up. England have tried to break them down on numerous occasions, whether it's going out wide, whether it's trying those little intricate passes through the middle of the park, and it's been difficult for them. They need to just remain focused, don't get frustrated. I know it's easy for me to say here, but it's quite interesting that England came out earlier. They got in a team huddle. Steph Houghton was certainly talking to them, and it seemed to be, we have to stick with our game plan, we have to keep going, and we get that early goal in the second half, because that will change things, you know, straight away. Confidence will build, and you hope that from a Bosnia and Herzegovina perspective, they will lose focus and concentration a little bit.
Well, England are heading top of their qualifying group on goal difference ahead of Wales. This their game in hand, but a draw here, or disappointment, wouldn't even begin to describe it. A win will take them top, clear by 2 points. That's what they're after. They have 45 minutes to find the breakthrough. And Phil Neville's second competitive match in charge. And after such an excellent She Believes Cup, where they finished second for the first time, their best ever finish in that invitational tournament with the USA and Germany and France, he will not want to start his competitive reign as England manager with 2 draws, given that England have only dropped points once in their last 2 qualifying campaigns for Euro 2017 and for the World Cup back in 2015. And that's what you've got to do, quick off the mark for the manager as well as the players. No point waiting for the ball boy or girl.
He still wants to play, doesn't he? I don't think that ever leaves you.
Greenwood. Lovely footwork from the Liverpool defender. Oh, goes down. Nothing given. Well, the referee penalising Alex Greenwood.
It's so difficult to see. It was fantastic footwork from Alex Greenwood.
And booked.
Must be for diving.
And Alex Greenwood has already been booked. So she is sent off. The first booking in the first half for dissent when she was taking a free kick. And Alex Greenwood booked for diving and sent off for England. Well, this changes things, Sue Smith. And the referee from Greece has made a huge decision.
I think she touched her. I think it's a foul. And you can see she's absolutely devastated. She's worked her way back into the side. Fantastic run from Alex Greenwood. She's not the sort of player to go down without getting some sort of contact. And I know they're trying to get, whether it's a penalty. Oh, she's in tears. It's horrible to see.
Well, it was a huge afternoon for the Liverpool fullback. Called up into the squad because Hannah Blundell withdrew before these qualifiers. In the side today because Demi Stokes has gone home through illness. And England now have to regroup, have to get their heads in gear. Down to 10 players.
I think that's a poor decision.
Well, you go back to the yellow card in the first half as well for dissent. Again, as we said at the time, we can't hear exactly what was said. But having given a rather harsh yellow card to Amira Spahic for time wasting, it seemed as though the referee was in a bit of a groove and dished out another one to Alex Greenwood. But if she had said something there, well, it's come back to bite her.
Yeah. But again, looking at the replays, it looked like there was contact. And I think straight away when your opposing player puts your arm in the air to say, I haven't done anything, usually means you have done something. Whether I'm being slightly biased, I don't know, and like I say, it's difficult for us to call, but I personally would have thought that was more of a penalty than a dive.
And even if there is contact that the referee doesn't deem sufficient for a penalty, you could argue that then that doesn't make it a clear dive. Of course.
I like
say no penalty, but play on.
Yeah, of course. And Alex Greenwood, like I say, isn't a player that does go down like that.
And England force something, not with that control, unfortunately, from Mel Lawley. And if the pressure was just building a little bit on England, given that result against Wales on Friday, how as a player, when you've come out, you've had that team talk that we flagged up from Steph Houghton, you think, right, let's go for this. Within 2 minutes, you're down to 10 players, and you know you still need to find a victory.
And I think that the players will cope with that because, you know, Bosnia Herzegovina haven't showed any real threat going forward. So I think from a defensive perspective, it won't matter too much. But I thought what Alex Greenwood was doing well was she was getting out wide and getting those deliveries into the box. Now it's going to be down to Tony Duggan to do that, isolate that fullback 1v1. She's got the ability to beat her inside and out.
Well, if England do feel a sense of injustice about that dismissal, may spur them on. As Ellen White goes tumbling on the edge of the box, headed back in and claimed by Hasanbegovic. He made those 2 excellent saves in the first half. Has looked shaky, though, at other moments. It appears to be growing in confidence. And Bosnia and Herzegovina will grow in confidence with this numerical advantage. England still dominating. Duggan. Falls to Nobbs. Claimed well again by Hasanbegovic. Just split White and Christensen.
Yeah, she did well. She's very unorthodox, the keeper, but seems to manage to just keep the ball out, just keep hold of it. But I do think that delivery, if you get it right, Ellen White especially, is very good.
Important just allowing that to bounce very short back to Carly Telford. In the end, England get away with it. And that might be the one thing, paradoxically, that helps them, Sue Smith. As Cruz almost snaffled up that opportunity, that Bosnia and Herzegovina just might commit some more players forward, given that England only have 10 players. And that actually might open the game up a little bit.
I was going to say, I hope so. Yeah, I hope they do.
Not so far. No. But we'll see. Lawley. Well marshalled. Duggan can't quite bring it down. White tries the snapshot. Easy for Hasanbegovic. Sends the ball out of play.
I think this was where Steph Houghton just, I think they were okay. I think they both realised what was going on. Carly Telford's very good at that, I think. She's very quick off a line, reads danger well, and is very good with her feet, and that's probably why I think she's been started in these last 2 games, because that's how Phil Neville wants to play.
Some treatment required. I believe it's Amira Spahic who is down. What do you make of that goalkeeping situation for England, Sue Smith? Carly Telford again, given the nod by Phil Neville today.
I think Carly Telford's been in and amongst the squad for a long period of time, and I think she's really improved and developed as a goalkeeper over the years, and probably not been given as many opportunities as a lot of people thought she should have been given. And I'm so pleased for her, because she works so hard. Excellent shot stopper, very good with the ball at her feet, and I think she deserves this chance, and now it's her place to lose. So I think if she continues with her good form, there's no reason why she can't be the #1 moving forward.
Do you think he's made that decision? That's it then? She's ahead of Karen Bardsley?
I think at this moment in time, yes.
Phil Neville not afraid to make big calls.
No, that's what I like. I think that's what you have to do as a manager at international level.
And the irony is that neither Karen Bardsley nor Carly Telford at the moment are first choice at their clubs. Karen Bardsley being kept out of the side at Manchester City by young Ellie Roebuck. So that move breaks down for England. And Carly Telford behind Hedvig Lindahl of Sweden at Chelsea. Top goalkeeper,
Yeah.
but perhaps slightly frustrating for a national team manager when more goalkeepers that you want to choose from aren't regularly playing. Obviously, Gareth Southgate has that question with Joe Hart as well. We see it in the men's game. Knobs. England still dominating despite the dismissal, but again, a loose ball. Hasn't played them into trouble so far, but it's more precious time wasted, Sue Smith.
Yeah, it's got to be more quality on the balls. Just being at times, they just lack that little bit of concentration.
Here is Bronze. Loose touch. Nikolic was well in. England still coming forward with Duggan. Nice footwork from Duggan.
Yeah, and that's what England need. Get Tony Duggan, get Mel Lawley on the ball, get them, whether it's driving into the penalty box and having a shot. Again, it's on a weaker left foot, but that's better. Because you're at least committing players, and they've got that quick feet to take the player on and get themselves a yard to be able to have a shot on target. Test the goalkeeper a little bit more. Don't feel that England have done that.
And you have to say again, Nikolic, the latest Bosnia and Herzegovina player to evince that quick reaction as Lawley swings the ball in, and it's finally in for England. Tony Duggan with the breakthrough. A precious, precious goal for the 10 players of Phil Neville. Bosnia and Herzegovina 0, England 1.
And that's exactly what they needed to do. Good play from Mel Lawley. Get the ball into a good area in the box, and Tony Duggan just pokes her foot out. She can't get in front of the defender, but what she does is she just makes sure that she makes contact on the ball. But excellent from Mel Lawley. That's what you need, isolate those fullbacks, get a delivery in and get on the end of it.
And that assist was Lawley's last action of the match, as Beth Mead comes on for her second England appearance, having made her debut against Wales on Friday.
And again, she came on against Wales and did well. She was very direct, wanting to get onto the ball, wanting to make things happen. So I just wonder, is that ankle injury early on for Mel Lawley, and how much is she feeling that? But great substitution to be able to bring Beth Mead on, who's playing fantastically well for club and deserves this opportunity again.
So England, the 10 players of England, finally have their lead. And a weight will have been lifted off the shoulders of Phil Neville. You can say the goal's been coming, but then it looked like it was coming against Wales, and it never did. And they find a second, not with a delivery like that. Hasanbegovic, very happy to watch it wide. But clinical from Tony Duggan. And as you say, Beth Mead doing so well for Arsenal this season. Joined them in January of last year. Had a bit of a slow spring series, took a while to get going, but has really found her stride now after that move from Sunderland.
Yeah, and she's been playing in slightly different positions, so not as that out-and-out number 9. She's been playing a little bit more out wide, and I think that suits her, because like I say, she's got that pace to be able to beat players, but she can also cut in and find the net, because as we know, she's an out-and-out goal scorer.
Yes, their top scorer this season, 13 goals and 18 appearances, still only 22. Real promise. Just thinking, Ellen White wants to back away quickly there. You don't want to give referee Andra Mackie so flicky any excuse to book you. It's Carly Telford. That's what is probably her fourth touch of the game.
That's so difficult for a goalkeeper, though, if you speak to any keeper, when you're playing in a game like this where you don't have many touches on the ball.
England trying to build on this advantage. Free kick, dangerous position. And if this is Spahic, then she could be in trouble here.
It's a definite foul.
Well, she was booked in the first half as well. That very harsh yellow, we felt, for time wasting at a throw. And it will be a second yellow and a red. And Amira Spahic, Bosnia and Herzegovina's most capped player, is off. Now that is really remarkable. And you have to say, for the second yellow card that the referee has given, if she feels that Spahic has pulled her back there in a dangerous position, you can see why she's given that. If she feels that Alex Greenwood has dived to try and win a penalty, you can see why she's done that. It's the first yellow cards for both of those players, time wasting from a throw for Spahic, and Greenwood for dissent, which again, we don't know exactly what was said, but it didn't seem to be a long conversation, has put the referee arguably in a difficult position. Because when those second offences happen, if you interpret them that they were offences, you don't think it was a penalty in Alex Greenwood, which the referee clearly didn't, you then have to send them off. But overall, they seem harsh. Bet Sue Smith's thought on that after this free kick. England with an opportunity to double their lead. Again, need to test Hasanbegovic from there. Tony Duggan, England's goal scorer. Sue, your opinion on those red cards as a pair?
Yeah, Vicky, I've got to totally agree with what you've just said, because yes, the second ones were yellow cards, if that's what the referee has seen. I still don't think that Alex Greenwood's was a dive. I think there was contact, but that, arm around there, Beth Mead's waist to pull her back, it is a foul, it is a yellow card. The first ones were soft, really, really soft, and I don't like saying anything too bad about referees. I understand it's a really difficult job to do. I've got a lot of friends that are referees. I think she's been really poor today, and I think some of the decisions, I think, have been poor as well, and spoilt the game slightly, sending those two players off. I don't think deserve to be sent off, in my opinion.
Well, that's what it is, a game of opinions. The referee might disagree with us.
Hopefully she's not watching this.
Don't watch it back. Well, it levels things up from an England point of view. Bosnia and Herzegovina may feel at some point they have to try and come forward. Should point out again, as we did at the start of the match, that they lost 6-1 to Russia here on Thursday. They actually went ahead in that game after 5 minutes through an own goal. So when you put that into context, 1-0, they'll certainly be pleased with how they've approached the game so far. It's Duggan tries one and hits the angle of post and bar. Excellent effort from Duggan. White can't snaffle it up. And Bosnia and Herzegovina survive.
Oh, so unlucky from Tony Duggan there. What a snapshot, and that's the quality that she has.
England still coming forward. Hasanbegovic anticipates well. So close to 2-0.
It's just a vision and awareness of Tony Duggan to come in field, see where the goalkeeper is. That was going right into the top corner. I just think since she's moved to Barcelona, I think her whole game has developed. I think her confidence developed. She looks like she's just enjoying her football. Hence making her play better.
Yeah, she scored 13 goals for Barcelona this season. Really flourishing in Spain. The challenge to deny Lucy Bronze. But England, well, you wouldn't say growing in confidence. They've been in confident form through the whole match, but it's just looking a little bit more incisive since the goal. Good work. Bringing it forward. In the end, Hasanbegovic down well.
And I think the longer the game went 0-0, I think the more confident Bosnia Herzegovina got. I think as soon as England scored, you could see straight away that that did affect them slightly.
Duggan. Knobs on the overlap. White in the middle. Duggan unleash another effort. Instead it is Knobs who swings it in, and Hasanbegovic had to be sure. England corner.
She just doesn't look comfortable with those crosses into the box. I'd like to see whoever it is in there, whether it's Ellen White, whether it's Tony Duggan coming in, get across the goalkeeper. I think that was a miss-hit from Jordan Knobs, however. I think she was looking to probably whip a foot round it.
Well, it will be Knobs on the corner duty as well. Both sides with 10 players. England with the advantage. Trying something a little bit different, looking for Lucy Bronze. Again, doesn't quite work out. But Phil Neville saying he won't criticise his players as long as they're trying to do the right things. And if that is something they've been working on in training, he won't mind them having a go.
Not at all. And like, it's difficult for us sometimes to comment if things aren't working. We can see that, but if they've been working on that in training for the last few days, then of course as a player you're going to try those things. I think that's sometimes where maybe the experienced players come into play and they say, right, this isn't working, let's try and maybe mix it up a little bit and make that decision on the field.
England, as things stand, heading top of their World Cup qualifying group, 2 points ahead of Wales. This their game in hand. It's going to be a big, big match-up in August. Wales keep their own momentum going. Bosnia and Herzegovina making a substitution, introducing Selma Kapetanovic to the fray. Only her second appearance in qualifying. Also came off the bench against Kazakhstan in October, which was Bosnia and Herzegovina's only victory. Knobs will latch onto that. And for Ellen White. Nikolic will bring it away. Oh, marshals her very well. Must be so frustrating for a striker. As soon as you get a glimpse of the ball, you're just crowded out of it. It's a role that Nikolic has worn up under well. Coming forward. White again in the mix. Bosnia and Herzegovina get it away. Duggan. Now Knobs. Manis again in an advanced position. England penalised for offside. Beth Mead not especially happy about that.
She's definitely
With good
onside.
reason.
I know. I have no idea.
There's about 4 players ahead of her. Deary me.
And the linesman was right in line, so you can't even say that she wasn't in a good position to see that. Strange decision.
There've been a couple. Bosnia and Herzegovina come forward. Horton tidies up. Here is Lucy Bronze. Horton. Duggan. Lovely interchange, almost paying off. Lisa Spahic doing well to come back and cover.
Yeah, Duggan's looked particularly lively in the second half. It's like she's thought, I'm going to take this game by the scruff of the neck. I'm going to make something happen. Obviously scored the goal, had that great opportunity, but yeah, she looks good. She looks really dynamic.
Horton with the ball in. And another good save by Hasanbegovic from Ellen White. Took it well. Hasanbegovic stood strong.
And I think Steph Horton's done well, as in she's very little to do defensively, but what she has done is she's moved forward with the ball, and when she's had that opportunity, she's put a good pass into the box. And her and Ellen White link up so well. They've played in the same team and on numerous occasions. That was a nice link-up play there.
A second from England would really put the game to bed. It's Jodie Taylor warming up. Jordan Nobbs. Aiming for the perfect delivery. White penalised. Hasanbegovic was coming, and Ellen White slightly frustrated, shall we say so, Smith?
I think she's just trying not to say anything, because again, it's a good challenge from Ellen White. I know often the goalkeeper gets the benefit of the doubt in those situations, but it just looks like Ellen's just jumping to challenge for the ball.
Coach Hasanbegovic was not claiming convincingly, so White had every right to challenge.
Yeah.
Well, the referee has operated on the more severe side of decision-making. That's why it is 10 against 10. Alex Greenwood and Amira Spahic both sent off in the second half for second yellows. The first ones, the ones that were rather contentious in each case. The Bosnia and Herzegovina fans find their voice here at the Bosnia FA Training Centre. Good to see so many young people here watching the football.
Yeah, definitely. Making a noise now as well, because I think they've committed a few more players forward at times.
Might not be celebrating here if that falls to wide. It does, but the shot was just skewed, and Hasanbegovic again reacts well. Not too much more than Ellen White could do than fling a leg at it.
Yeah,
it could have gone anywhere.
Of course, yeah, and that's all you've got to do as a striker. If you're predicting that the ball's going to come into a certain area, just make that movement, and that's what Ellen White can do. She's good at anticipating where the ball's going to go. She's so brave that she will just fling herself and try and get a touch on it.
Well, she's really been on fire for Birmingham, has led their charge up to third in the WSL. 9 goals in 10 games after missing the first chunk of the season through injury. Here is Duggan, England's goal scorer. A little short for Bronze, who did well initially but can't keep it in. Lucy Bronze preparing to face her former club, Manchester City, in the Champions League semi-finals, meeting Lyon again. Bronze on the losing side last season. We'll hope to be on the winning side at the expense of her old teammates Chelsea against Wolfsburg as well. As England continue to come forward, just too much on it for White. But brilliant for British clubs to have 2 British sides in the semi-finals of the Champions League for the first time.
Yeah, of course, making history. I just think that just shows the progression of the game in our country, the Women's Super League. I think we spoke about it earlier, didn't we, how competitive it's been, and I think that only helps the clubs when they go into Champions League football. 2 tough games though, Lyon and Wolfsburg. Very experienced in that competition. But I think we've really got a good chance for once.
Yes, the progression of Chelsea in particular from last season to this season. Yeah, well, Manchester City reaching the last 4 last season as well. coming up against the eventual winners, Leon. It's Bosnia and Herzegovina make their second change. Marina Lukic replacing Valentina Šarkotić.
And
they have worked incredibly hard, the home side. You can understand there will be some tired legs out there, particularly with both sides having 10 players.
Yeah, I think when you're defending like that, it's not just physically, it's also mentally trying to remain concentrated, trying to remember where your shape is, where you have to be. And it's difficult when you haven't got the ball. Running without the ball is a hard task. So like you say, there'll be a lot of tired legs out there.
Nikolic flicks it on, looking for Hadžić. Give him a minute back. Won't reach Knobs. There is Lucy Bronze. And now Mead. Met at the far post and over by Duggan. Difficult chance.
Great play from Beth Mead, though. She's made a real impact since she's come on. What a delivery that is. And that's unlucky. You can see Tony Duggan's it just bounces up. She just can't get over the ball to head it back across goal or even towards goal. But good delivery. That's where the goalkeeper doesn't know, should I come, should I not come?
"15 minutes to play. England heading top of their qualifying group. They've had to work very, very hard for it. But after the disappointment of that goalless draw with Wales, Phil Neville will see this as a job done if they see it through. Or will Bosnia and Herzegovina find some way to cause England a problem at the other end? Here is Duggan. Won't fall for Knobs. Horton. Now Mead. Up against Kulish. Jordan Knobs with the opportunity for another corner delivery. Just asking the lineswoman to move out of the way. Not the most amenable, this set of officials. Horton had stayed up, but has strayed offside. Bosnia and Herzegovina free kick.
Hopefully she said please. Again, I think this is another decision, maybe just offside. But that's clearly something that England are trying to build. They're trying to have different set pieces. He said that he wants his players to be on the ball and create things. So I think it's a work in progress, maybe moving forward towards the World Cup.
Radilic with the free kick. Sent straight back at her by Lucy Bronze. Ellen White goes tumbling back up to try and retrieve that. Carly Telford getting in on the action. I guess as a goalkeeper, do you want some sort of opportunity to maybe make a save in a game? People to remember your part in it. Has had virtually nothing to do. Mead wins another corner.
I suppose she can say 2 starts, 2 clean sheets.
She can
She'd
indeed.
be quite happy with that, I think.
But everyone's talking about Laura O'Sullivan of Wales, aren't they?
Yeah.
Which isn't Carly Telford's fault.
She did have a stormer.
Said she hasn't played a better game. What a result for Wales. What a campaign they're having in this qualifying group. Knobs lifts it in. Falls to Bronze. Now Moore. Knobs. Kulish couldn't block it. Hasanbegovic can deal with it. Yes, Wales, the model of efficiency. They haven't conceded. They've scored 3 goals. Each of them has earned them a 1-0 win. And they've had 2 0-0 draws against the highest ranked teams in the group, England and Russia. They've developed so much, and you can see how much it meant to the players and to Jane Ludlow, the manager, after that game to get a point off England. Because at the end of the day, they are playing against a team who are ranked 2nd in the world. And Nikolic down again, looks to be in some pain. And Andromaki, Sioflicki, gestures for treatment. Rachel Daly preparing to come on for England. Couldn't really see what had happened. I know she went down earlier on in the game. So whether it's a reoccurrence of that injury, I'm not sure. Izzy Christensen making way for Rachel Daly. Now she's having an interesting time over in America with Houston Dash. She's been playing right back for them. They've just started their season. She did fill in there a couple of times last season, but she's properly transitioned there. Hopes it might help her England chances, because England, of course, are blessed with such attacking ability. It'll be interesting to see where she plays right now, but certainly to be able to offer that versatility to Phil Neville is a good thing, even if he says, well, actually, I'd rather have you up front. Yeah, and that's the thing, she is so versatile. I played with her at Lincoln, and she was left back. She can play centre forward. I've seen her play in the middle of the park, because she's just a good all-round player, so you could fit her in anywhere, but sometimes that doesn't always work for you. Sometimes it's about getting your position, sticking with that, and maybe that's something that she's looking to do over in the States, which will help her international career. Well, it looks as though she's filling in for the dismissed Alex Greenwood. For now, perhaps pushing up a little bit into the midfield as well. And you feel as we enter the final 9 minutes or so that the fact that both teams have 10 players may just take its toll on the energy and quality of this game, although we're not seeing that so much from England so far. But for Bosnia and Herzegovina to step it up a gear, I think we'll be asking a lot. Yeah, I don't think they can. I think England will continue with this pressure and this dominance. They've got the fitness levels. Here is Beth Mead, now Nobbs. McManus. Daly. Looking for White. Hasanbegovic gathers easily. There's also a referee in Vera Hasanbegovic, so perhaps she could have pointed out a couple of those offsides. Nikolic, the latest to be slightly uncertain as to why she was penalised. Foul on Moore. They've had a real battle, those two. I think Jade Moore defensively has done well, because she has kept her quiet. She's been protecting Steph Horton and Abby McManus. Not that they've needed that much protection, but that's what she'll do. She'll just sit in front, and she's been making sure that Nikolic doesn't cause any sort of attacking threat. Free kick England, Beth Mead, who's looked lively since coming on. As Sue says, she has been playing in more of a wide role for Arsenal recently. Again, another player that's having to be versatile to try and break properly into the national side. Says it is unusual, having played as a number 9 for all those years at Sunderland, but she does have the skill and the ability to adapt that game. And I think now with all the movement, she can do that, get in the box when she needs to. Nobbs, again, training ground routine from England. Moore's shot is blocked. Drew that flying save from Hasanbegovic in the first half from a similar distance. McManus finds It's Daly. Nobbs. Looking for the run of Duggan. Lead away by Bosnia and Herzegovina. And it will be job done for England. The dismissal of Alex Greenwood as well. They'll be pleased to have come back from in this second half. Despite Spahic levelling things up by her own red card. Nikolic. And that's a point where you need to be slightly more intelligent in the decision that you make there.
See, they're clearly not even trying to attack England, trying to get themselves back into the game. That's just to get rid of the ball.
Here is Mead. Nobbs. Mead's ball in. Hasanbegovic wasn't sure where Duggan was. Fortunately for her, just a little bit too much on it for Duggan to latch onto.
Hasanbegovic was very indecisive here, wasn't she? She didn't know whether to come for it. Partly came, realised she couldn't actually get that.
Izzy Christensen watching on. Well, the home fans still in good voice. From a Bosnia and Herzegovina perspective, they are playing the team that's ranked second in the world, and they have made life very difficult for them. We can't be too harsh on them not trying to get up the other end and score that equaliser. The gulf between the sides, 55 places in the world rankings. The late challenge referee plays advantage. Ellen White goes tumbling. Hasanbegovic has the ball. White asking why the decision hasn't gone England's way. And quickly out by Hasanbegovic. Here is Nobbs. Hamza's clearance charged down. Collected by Lisa Spahic, and suddenly opens up in front of her. And Bosnia and Herzegovina have their first real effort on England's goal.
And, do you know, Carly Telford's actually telling her midfield and her defence that you can't let that happen. You have to close that down. Because if she'd have had a little bit more quality, that could have tested Carly. I know it was quite far out. To just make sure that they don't allow that to happen, don't become too complacent.
England's third and final substitution. Goal scorer Tony Duggan making way for Jodie Taylor.
She's played well, Tony Duggan.
Your player of the match, Sue Smith?
I think so, yeah. I think she's very much been the one that's been making things happen. She's been lively, obviously scored the goal, which was desperately needed. I think you just look at the strength and depth, though, the fact that Jodie Taylor, who in my opinion is world class, is coming on the field of play now.
She was the top scorer at Euro 2017, Jodie Taylor, with 5 goals. Scored on her debut as well for Seattle Rank, and England get a second. Well, they really should have done. Ellen White knows it.
Again, great movement. This time Lucy Bronze with a good delivery into the box, and Ellen White, her movement before that you didn't actually see, but her movement, the way that she came in, got up well, but just couldn't get over the ball enough to head the ball down. I think it just shows there how good of a team England are at the moment. Just before the game, Jodie Taylor was talking to Ellen White and wishing her good luck, and I think that's just a really nice touch, somebody that's competing for your position, and yet they're all good teammates. It makes such a difference in big tournaments when you all get on.
Kulic with the throw for the home side. And Nikolic. Mead stands up well, in the throat. Overall, how do you feel Phil Neville will assess this result, Sue?
I think he'll be really pleased to get the 3 points, to get that goal. I think he'll be happy with his team that they've continued to play the way he wants them to play. They've managed to get that breakthrough, and they've completely dominated the game, haven't they, against a team that doesn't want to come out, doesn't want to score a goal. They just want to defend and keep the scoreline down. So I think he'll be relatively happy. There'll be things he wants to work on, i.e. that final ball, that decision-making, especially in the first half. But it's just a massive 3 points for them to go top of the group now.
And they were hit by those withdrawals, England. Yeah, not really much of an excuse because the squad is, as we've said, stock full of quality, but Frank Kirby in particular really wants somebody to unlock something. If a couple of your other forward players just aren't quite having the brightest day, Kirby is somebody that you'd want to be involved. But Duggan has filled that role today. Yeah,
no, she has. But yeah, you're right. The players that have had to go home through injury, illness. I even think Jill Scott in a game like this, I think, would have been superb. She just offers something slightly different. I always think that she doesn't play, England do miss her.
McManus. Wharton trying to find Daly. Here is Lucy Bronze. Now Mead. Past Coolish easily. Oh, still skipping past. Didn't take a touch on the way through. Well, she looks frustrated. There's a raised hand of apology, but that was positive play by Beth Mead.
Absolutely brilliant. This is great play, but I just wonder, could she have crossed it there just before that last touch? Could she have just got the ball into the box? But you've got to admire her, how direct she was, and her pace and her quick feet. I think she's been excellent since she come on, but that was just being hypercritical. Could she have just got that crossing before running the ball out of play?
But that's what Phil Neville will want to see from a player. Even if you do 95% right, if you don't do the final 5%,
yep.
A little bit of frustration. Actually, no, I should have made a different decision.
Definitely. But you can see from her as a player as well, she put her hand up straight away, so realised what she should have done.
For a moment there, I thought that was 10 minutes at a time. And wasn't sure at all where the officials had got that from, but it's not. It's Elisa Spahic coming off. And Merima Medic coming on, the 18-year-old, one of their brightest young talent, the youngest player in the squad. Getting a late run out. Plenty for the Bosnia and Herzegovina manager, Samira Hurem, to be encouraged by as Beth Mead goes down, and that is a penalty. England will have a chance to put some gloss on this scoreline. It was a Coolish in on Mead, and it's a clumsy, clumsy challenge.
It was a definite penalty. It was late. Mead had got the wrong side of her. It was just, like you said, it was clumsy. But good play from Beth Mead. I think she's been excellent since she's come on. She's making defenders make decisions.
So Jodie Taylor with the opportunity to seal the victory with a bit of shine. Hasanbegovic has proved adept at shot stopping. Can she keep out Euro 2017's top scorer? It's Taylor, and she scores. England lead Bosnia and Herzegovina by 2-0. And it is job done.
Yeah, job done. Cool, calm, very collected Jodie Taylor. Just passed the ball into the net. Goalkeeper went the right way, but when it's in the corner like that, there's no chance Hasanbegovic was going to get anything on that. There was no doubt, was there? Jodie Taylor was going to score there. And England deserve it.
Absolutely. And it's her 17th goal for her country in 37 appearances. 31 years old, Jodie Taylor. She'll just wish she had more years to give. Certainly won't be thinking about hanging up those boots anytime before the World Cup. But she is proving such a prolific and, as you say, world-class striker.
I think it's just a case of looking after her body, making sure that she's 100% fit when she's playing.
And White penalised, again manages to keep her thoughts to herself just about on that, not wanting to risk a stray yellow card.
Yeah, she's done well. She's done well not to get frustrated.
And there is the full-time whistle. England head to the top of their World Cup qualifying group, beating Bosnia and Herzegovina by 2-0. Both goals in the second half. The first from Tony Duggan, the second Jodie Taylor's penalty. After Alex Greenwood had been sent off for a second yellow, Amira Spahic followed her also for a second bookable offence. But Sue Smith, England 2 points clear of Wales at the top. And a good response in the end to that disappointing draw on Friday.
Yeah, definitely. Great response from England. And a complete dominant display from them. Had so much of the ball in difficult circumstances when a team is going to sit back, make it really hard for you, but they managed to get that breakthrough. Good play from Tony Duggan. And I think overall, England and Phil Neville will be happy that they've got those 3 points and they're now top of the table.
Phil Neville has his first competitive win as England manager. Thanks very much for tuning in this afternoon, wherever you've been watching. Full-time, Bosnia and Herzegovina women 0, England women 2.